What if I told you that everything that you have been looking for, the success, the perfect life, the security, the happiness that you are looking for at the finish line was never at the finish line to begin with? I have spent years trying to figure this out. Years of just frustration and doubt and chasing the wrong things. But I'm going to save you decades of time, frustration and suffering in the next 17 or so minutes. This is embarrassing to admit, but for years I thought that if I just figure life out, if I become more successful, if I buy all the things, if I just find that purpose, I will finally feel free. But the more I chased it, I just got more and more exhausted, and I just felt like falling to my knees. Until this day when I started to realize something that really changed everything for me. I needed to feel that my life matters in more ways than just checking off boxes of what you're supposed to do in life. I've always been this, good girl, duktig flicka. I was a good student, always a high performer, so responsible, and a constant people pleaser. And I never thought about it back then, but when I look back, I can see that so much of my life has been overly focused on being of service to others, even if they haven't asked for it. When I look back at my life, it's just been, exaggerated behavior on my part, which hasn't served me in the long run. It's taught me behaviors that are not serving me and haven't been serving me. And I think that this comes from a fear of being seen as selfish, which is, that is just a life truth and a truth about myself that I have inflicted on myself. Nobody has ever, when I look back at my life, I don't think someone has ever told me, at least not to my face, that I am selfish. And yet that has been such a strong drive and motivator on what decisions I make and how I live my life. I think a lot of you can relate to this feeling of, if I'm just being good, people will like me, I am doing the right thing, you're a nice person, you have the grades, you're responsible, you check all the boxes. And yet you feel like you are suffocating inside. I'm so thankful to this day that I let my rebellious teenage side come out, and actually I chose to study something that I enjoyed, that I was inherently interested in. So I studied filmmaking and media production, and it was not seen as a wise choice at all, because what work are you ever even gonna get? Will you be able to get into university after spending all your time doing this? But I stick to my guns. I made the choice, I studied that, and that was the three of the best years of my life. And then you are faced with another decision. Are you gonna study more or get a job? Faced with the decision again, should I choose something that is smart or something that I really want? But now I was even more of in the transition. I was an adult at this point, and I have rent to pay and everything. And so I felt even more the pressure even more to make a wise decision. Pick something that will give you a job. Even though, again, deep inside, I knew that I want a free, creative life. And I was told that that's not doable. It's so hard. How are you gonna get a job like it's so hard. The competition is so fierce. And so I half-assed my choice. I chose to go and read a class only like a course, one course on digital media production. But then after that was done, I posted out basically and applied for 3 years of systems science studies, because that was my rational brain, and just being a sensitive person and taking in what other people think and what would be, again, the wise choice. What will bring you work? What is the safe choice? Really, what it's all about. What's the safe choice? And I remember working so hard those 3 years to really motivate myself with, this is the smart choice, you are doing the right thing. But I can just remember so vividly the moment when I was just, screw this, I'm done. And I was nearly done with my study. I have pushed myself through almost all of these 3 years. But I remember it was yet another exam, statistics exam, that I have failed. Just a few points, from making it. And I went to the school to get the result, and I got it, and it was like, no, you failed again. And I went back out to the car, and that was just such a pivotal moment for me, because I threw the whole thing back into the car and just told my boyfriend that, screw this, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. And that weight of just letting go, the weight lifted from me of just letting go, was just, I can't even describe the feeling. If you have ever done that before, when you have quit something that you really should quit. I mean, if you don't have any internal motivation to do it, and it just makes no freaking sense other than it's the smart choice, when you just decide to, I'm gonna quit this. I mean, there is a moment for everything when, well, now is the time to stop. And that was the time for me when I was just like, screw it, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I can't put any more time into this. I guess it was also a moment when I was really honest with myself, that I was just asking myself, are you going to work with this? Are you going to fight to get employment in this area, with this expertise? And I was like, no. Let's be honest, no, I'm not going to. And at this point in time, being self-employed and, having your own business had never entered my mind. That was something that, the other people do it. Those other people, they do it. I could never do it. That's not something that people like me is doing. That was my belief. That was my truth. But I'm so thankful again for myself that I allowed myself to follow that curiosity. And I think I actually did it by, tricking my mind that, oh, it's just for fun. It's not serious. It's risk-free what I'm doing. I'm just exploring. I'm just listening to other people, what they're doing. And I am so happy for that, because that investigating led me to a community of creators and people just doing exactly the thing that I was dreaming of. Some of them, they were influencers and creators, artists in different kinds of realms and everything. And I was just mind blown with the things that they did, and they could do it like for a living. That was blowing my mind and just opened up my whole world. And to this day, I can't even begin to describe how thankful I am for the people that, took me in and took a chance on me. I'm gonna tear up here, because that is seriously, to this day, that moment, that period in time was one of the most important and pivotal times and moments of my entire life. And it still shapes my life today. So I need to like Linda Hörnfeldt, Jonna Jinton, Elin Kero, Amanda Matsby, and several more people that I got to know during this journey. I mean, they were so, they just let me in, and they shared their experiences and how they were thinking about things, and just helped me expand my mind. And the important thing to take with you here is, what would happen if you talked to someone about your dream or what you want to do or the things that you're thinking about? Because we can do a lot of things ourselves. We have a lot of strengths within and everything. But really, if I hadn't mustered up the courage to email Linda for like 3 times and be like, hello, please meet me. I want to, get in. I want to help you do the thing that you're doing. Having other people help you. The people are usually kind. They will share their stories and their expectations with you. And most of the times when we don't share is because, at least for me, it's because I feel dumb, or I am scared that people are going to judge like my dream or my vision. Because, when something that you're thinking about is in that state, it's such a fragile little thing. It's just, you have to be careful with who you're telling, and really selective, because it's like, if you have a bird in your hand, you can't hold it too hard. It's so fragile. And it's like that with your ideas and your visions and like your dreams. You need someone, if you're going to ask someone for help, you need that person to understand the fragility and actually help you nurture it. That relentlessness in following like their creativity and their dreams, and the sense of purpose, living with intent and purpose, has been the thing that I've been chasing all my life and is still chasing. There has to be an alignment between my values and the things that I spend my time and energy on during the days. Because if there isn't, I will become depressed, stressed, frustrated, angry, and just, it's been a huge part of why I became burnt out in 2023. It's like a little monster that just eats up everything inside of you. So then you might think, then why don't you just change something up if it makes you feel like such a piece of shit? Well, making changes and taking leaps of faith can be really gut-wrenching. And I am such a safety junkie, which really, really goes against my yearning for this creative and free life and following maybe a path less traveled. Those two things, they don't match. They don't go together at all. And as I've gotten older and, I have more responsibilities and everything, and you get maybe a bit cynical, like adult style cynical about things. I just become more reluctant against taking risks, and then we can tie that back to the people pleasing and doing the right thing, making the wise choice, being irresponsible and being a good person, a good girl, and just running out off trail, so to say, and trusting that things are gonna work out. That is not my idea of being responsible. Yeah, but it's not like you're just trusting, you just quit work and quit everything and just go out and jump around in nature and hope for the best and that the universe will provide. That is not at all how I'm really thinking about it, but it's really, I guess it comes down to that I don't trust in my abilities, in my skills, that I will be able to turn them into something that is of value to other people. So, I became really comfortable, really, in every aspect. I became idling, I started idling and started, just leaning back, stopped doing. But living like that, it makes me dull. Now I am on the hunt again to start to pick things up where I left off. When you become idle and comfortable and laid back like that, it's really very easy for you to just sit there and wait for external things to happen to nudge you in directions in life. But what if you instead started to do things and take action on the things that you want and the direction that you want your life to take? What if you could be happy now instead of going and waiting for it to happen? What if you could do things that you really want to do right now if you just decided to take the time for it? We need to stop waiting for a perfect time that will never come. Because perfection is a myth. I mean, the time really is now. This present moment is the only time that you are certain of having. Start to work with yourself by learning about yourself and how to lead yourself. Because if you don't design your life, someone else will. I really believe that the things that we nurture will grow. So what if you decide to start nurturing a life that actually makes you happy?